Okay, the timing belt is complete and the water pump on this 2004 Pontiac XG350. That water pump, you'll be taking it apart, putting it together. That's the way they set them out. The back part you'll be putting it on. Back of the water pump, where the housing go, there's an O-ring on the water pipe that travel on the engine. You'll be changing the O-ring. I changed the alternator belt. Timing belt is gonna come with this pulley and then this other pulley that you tighten up on the belt with the little tits in it. What I did with that one, I made me a tool for that. Tighten that up with fabricating me a little tool to use to tighten that up. The hell is that? I don't see it. Must be up under the car somewhere. Yeah, I went on to change the thermostat and the crank sensor with this Pontiac with Hyundai XG350. I'm looking for that tool that I made. Show you what you'll need to tighten that pulley up. Where the hell it go? I don't know. Oh, here it is, right here. This one here, what I'm gonna do, I'll use this to tighten up that little pulley. It fits right in there and you pull it back and tighten it up. So I just made me a little thingamajig, two little small screws. Otherwise, you can use snap ring pliers to grab it, or you can use these little hook type snips. But I'd rather make me a little tool. Now to do this job, you gotta line your timing marks. You see the little blues? They're gonna be lined up with the little white marks under there. Same on both sides. Now this side was the toughest side. After I routed the belt, I put the pulley back on just so I can crank it up and let it run. But after I routed the belt on the crank, I stuffed something on the bottom of that crank gear back there, so the belt wouldn't move. Then I brought the belt up, pull it tight on this pulley. It's behind this housing, behind this support. Then I pull the belt up real tight and I set this one right on the mark. Okay, and I put after I set that one, I use these little clips. So I lock the belt with a clip here. I pull this tight. What I did is once I had my mark lined up, knowing that the way the belt moves, this one want to come this way. So I pulled this, I set it a tooth ahead, and I pulled it back to tighten this up. Then I put two clips, and what I used to tighten that one side, this will work good on the Hyundai XG350 because you can sit it right behind here. There's one gear here, and it'll lock in between the tits with your liner marks, with the blue white ones right there. It'll lock right here, right there. This one too. It won't work on that side, but it'll hold this steady for you. Just using that little tool from AutoZone. I had that locked, then I pulled on the belt here to keep the tension on the belt, to keep it tight, because you want all the slack on the tension side down there. So after I pull the belt tight, I set this one. Knowing that this one want to fall to the right, I carried it further to the left one tooth. I brought it further to the right one tooth. And then I pull the pulley with a wrench, pull it tight so it can tighten that belt up. And I put a clip on this one also. This one stayed. I had a balance in between. It stayed right on the mark. These would be hard to see unless you jack the engine up. The marks are back there. This last one is a doozy, this exhaust pulley here. This one here is a doozy. What you're gonna do, this one wants to fight to the right. So you're gonna let it go to the right past the mark, and then you're gonna pull it back and sit the belt on there so you can have the tension between here. Now you're gonna get somebody to hold this one for you. Once you pull it back, just let them balance and hold it until you route it through the bottom. After you route it on the bottom, all the tension is on this side now. Then you're gonna bring the belt around, the little tension I showed you with the tits in it. Okay, wrap it around there. Then you're gonna get your little tool like I've made, Swing it over, swing that pulley over, the one with the little tits in it, and then snug that one up, tighten it up. It's gonna hold everything up there. Once you snug that up, then you can put this on, put your hydraulic tensioner on. Now what I use the snap ring pliers to pull that pulley all the way to the right, while you still got somebody holding that left exhaust one up there for you. I pull it all the way to the right real tight, and I tighten that nut down. And once I got it tightened enough, I went on torque the nut, and then I had my put the hydraulic tensioner on, tighten it down, and then my little Allen wrenches came right on out. And after that, I rotated the engine twice to make sure that I was still on my marks. After I rotated it twice, after that, then I went on and cranked up. Now, if you're doing a whole water pump job, here's the crank sensor going out to the bottom. If you're doing a whole water pump job, then yeah, you will wind up taking this support off, this big support here. It's got about 4 or 5 bolts in it at the most. You'll be taking this support off. I already took everything out and put it back on. So, and that alternator, you'll be breaking it free, taking the bolts off and laying it to the side. Like in my other video I said, remove that fan, you got more room to work with that alternator laying to the side. You'll be able to get that. Other than that, this one right here, you take the power steering hose loose, swing it over here to the right, and just tuck it over here out of your way. The reservoir, you can stuff it under this line here. And you take the motor mount off, like I said before, put a wood block under the engine, and you crank it up. But in my other video, I had the car running. So this is the 2004 XG 350. It's not bad. You're just gonna have a hard time with this side. But once you get it, lock it in, set them up. Here's your marks here. They look a little funny. They got an indentation in there. It's an indentation in the mark. And actually you'll know it because from the factory they set them all with this little blue. So the blue is pointing to where it go. The blue points to where it go. Yeah, but like I say, you just have somebody to help you with that last exhaust once you get those set up. And definitely clip them. I put clips on all of them, these little strong clips. They pretty nice and tight. As I get the belt tight and pull it, because you want everything from the right tight and on the mark, and then you loop it down to that last one, the last pulley, the one I showed you with the little dip, with the little tits in it. It's going to be on like a little piece that move up and down. Once you bring it around it, have that person to hold on to this pulley. They can hold it with their hand, like I had my son holding it with his hand here, and with the 17 millimeter with a breaker bar, just holding it steady. And if you see it come off the mark, then you adjust it back and forth a little bit for them before they get that tight down there. But I bring everything forward a little bit so I can throw the belt on the teeth, and then I roll back into my position, and that keeps me tight. It keeps me tight. Then at the bottom is the last one. When I loop around that pulley gonna swing to the right once you get something in them tits. Make you a tool or something that's pretty strong, sit it in there. And you're gonna use a 14 millimeter to tighten that bolt. So I had an open end wrench. A ratchet wrench might be better for you. If you got somebody working, helping you out, they can sit it on there while you swing it over and they snug it up for you. Just start tightening it up for you. And then you release that pin on it, release that Allen wrench on that tensioner, and it tightens everything on this side. Over here, you've already taken care of that tight belt. You've taken care of that because you started from this exhaust pulley to the intake around the water pump to this intake pulley. The last one, exhaust pulley over here. And you can't go wrong, but always keep checking your marks as you go. This side stays pretty much, but I just used that single tool on this one pulley, and it held it in place. Brought it around. This one here, once I set this one, I got it balanced. It didn't move on me. So I still put a clip here. This is the last one you set and get it on the mark. But remember, everything you come forward and you pull it back into it so you can keep everything on the right side tight. Then you lock it down with a clip and have somebody to hold it with a breaker bar and a 17 or open end wrench, whatever you want to use, until they get that tensioner on down there. Once they get the tension on, you're home free, and then you rotate it twice. Or if you want to do it 4 times. You know the crank is, you know what I'm talking about. Take the crank down there. Make sure you're on. That's it for the XG350. It says easy job. It's not hard. It's not hard. It's T-Dub, I'm out.